I
don't do
just
that.
I just
I've been
went
eating.
I just went sneaky. Peace, brother Bob. Okay, I don't know why I just decided to go ahead and hit the go live button because I don't know why. Just because I thought it would irritate you, Bob. No,
No, I
you're
learned,
pretty good about that, actually.
but I am gonna have to blank out the camera in a minute so I can finish eating.
But I wanted to say hello to Jay Bird Drone, which some people consider a troublemaker, and Eric RC Crazy, and
Oh, Eric, hey Eric.
Drone Shots. Hey, Jody, Mr. JRC's John, also lovingly known as Eugene. We always got, hey, Chris, how
Oh,
are you, brother?
Eugene's here. Cool.
And we mess with John all the time. Whenever John comes in the chat, you just gotta mess with him. So for anybody else that's here, please mess with John.
Yeah,
Jody, great to see you here. I'm
his
just
real
running
name's
my mouth.
Eugene.
Dude, like let's see, the end of July of last year I had a stroke. That changed things dramatically for me. But hey, trying worship Dan the man. Um, but then I started feeling my mortality, you know, and I'm like, through my life, I mean, to me, when I look back in retrospect, I think I had a great life. I think I had a great childhood. Um, I had great experiences in life. And I think that's something that so many kids in today's day and age have been cheated out of. Because, I mean, you know how, oh, you can't let your kids run around and play in the neighborhood or whatever. They might be snatched by a child predator or whatever. Back when I grew up, none of that was around. I mean, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was around, but kids still went out and played. They went out and played. They didn't have the video games. I remember when I was a kid growing up, when Pong came out. And yeah, we played with Pong. The
Yeah, but we were
game
like
Pong. Do
17
you
years
remember
old.
Pong where you get a game and you play it on your computer and or on your play it on your TV. And then people that left the game Pong up too long got this border that stayed on their screen even when they weren't playing the game. Um, but I remember all that. But I mean, that was a novelty. And hey, Unlimited Vertical Hourly, brother. So that was a novelty, though. We had a lot more fun outside. So where I grew up, okay, where I grew up was it was a big old backyard, and then there was the street out front, and we played with all the neighborhood kids, and neighborhood kids usually came over to my house, but there were other neighborhood kids' houses that we went to as well. But always there was the creek out back. And so that's where, hey, Allie, how are you? So that is where the adventuresome type, like me and my next door neighbor, Scott, um, another Scott from around the circle and whatnot. We kind of, the creek was a focal point. The creek was a new adventure. And then, even though we were kids, we couldn't drive a car, but we could damn sure paddle our boats. So it was pretty badass. I'm going to make a very poor attempt at showing some of this. Let's see. So it was pretty badass. I'm going to make a very poor attempt at showing some. Where am I getting this echo from? 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 Where am I getting this echo from?
Okay, folks, don't tune your TV set. It's been taken over by the Outer Limits. So be okay in a minute. Okay, folks, don't tune your TV set. It's been taken over by the Outer Limits. So be okay in a minute. Okay, folks, don't tune your TV set. It's been taken over by the Outer Limits. Is that Ed with long hair? Hey, Mike.
All right, I'm trying to figure out how to fix this.
Is that you in the picture, Ed?
Yes, that is me from a long time ago. I'm trying to figure
Yeah,
out.
you had long hair, you damn hippie. Is that you in the picture, Ed?
Long time ago.
Yeah, long hair, you damn hippie. Hello, Rigger. And Darcy. Hello, Rigger.
Motherfucker. Sorry, excuse my language.
And Darcy. Hello, Rigger.
Motherfucker. Sorry, excuse my language. Motherfucker. Sorry, excuse my language.
It must be some kind of a loop or something. I don't know.
Okay. So I don't know if anybody can hear me. Hey, Rigger. Hey, Craig, you bloody Yorker. All right. So I don't know if anybody can hear me at this point. Hey, Chris,
I can hear
Sunrise
you.
Water Media. That's Chris with a K, by the way. Allie's out there. Rigor Morris, good. I hope Darcy and Ainsley and Ruby are doing well. That's good. Thanks, Mike. So anyway, I was trying to tell old stories about the old stories and about how the creek revolved around their life. All right, the picture that I have up there now is from years ago obviously, from a camping trip on the Itchituttony River. Actually, that's on the Santa Fe. I actually got this picture some time ago, but it was recently shared with me recently. But this is a different one that was also shared with me today. It's a much, oh, wrong button. It's a much, still the wrong button. Let's see, add source. Media files, video images. But I got this today too. I got to go to completely different folder, documents, my documents. Ed TV. So like I do this thing, I have this folder, I just call it Ed TV. So when I go live or whatever, I know where to look, even though I had a hard time finding it just now. But this is from West Virginia. See how this comes out. This is obviously a scan of an old picture. Well, look all right there. Hey, what do you think? So,
great, Ed. I can see why Carlos likes you so much.
Dude, I mean, it's a crappy picture and stuff, but I look pretty good right there, don't I?
What was this, like around 1800?
Do what?
What was this, from like 1800?
No, it was in 1936. I was a lumberjack. And I walked the logs, and I floated logs down the raging rapids and shit, You didn't know I did all that shit?
That was before your Klondike times, right?
Well, yeah, pretty much. Anyway, back to the story. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out. Oh my God, look at who we have here.
Hey, Dan.
Look at this demonic son of a gun,
Where would the internet be?
That's you, dude. That's you.
Where would the internet be without the #1 troll, bro?
No, I don't know. You don't look trollish enough. Can't you put on a longer nose and do some green ears and shit?
I think I have that somewhere. I'd have to find it. It's been a while, Ed, since I pulled out the Einstein hair. I do need to find it. Oh wait. Let me know if you can hear. Let me know if you can hear this fart. You ready? Yeah.
I heard that. You got your sound system going on. Hey, Michaels, I call him Michael. I had to throw the S in that because that's what his drone channel says. So, what is Master Troll doing these days?
Oh, not much. You know me, man. I'm always doing it for Dale. going out, enjoying the bald eagles of America.
Bald
fly.
Eagle of America.
He's
Well,
man-made, buddy.
you know, my hair's getting a little thin up there too. You know, I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
close to the bald eagle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. It's hard doing it for Dale every day, but we do it. You know, America.
No, Dan's been out there flying the past couple of weeks.
I have. I've been getting a lot of my drones back up and working, man. I'm building like honestly 3 drones right now, so my time's pretty tied up with just trying to get all these things functioning.
I've seen
And,
that.
Yeah. I've been slacking, man. Been slacking. Don't get me wrong. Look, man. Slacking comes with making lots and lots of the cash. But
Good for you, man. All right, everybody, party up. Let's go rob Dan.
right. You know where I'm at too. I don't hide from anybody. Come on with it. But though I've been grinding hard, I still have not been flying like I want to, and I don't have any birds up capable of carrying my GoPros except for one, and it flies really bad. It flies bad right now, so I'm trying to figure that out.
Well, we know how much you hate non-digital videos.
My man. Ed knows me too well.
Well, you said it. Man, you gotta quit that non-HD stuff. It gives me a headache.
I guess lately, man, I'm on this tip of like getting a kick out of all these people that are getting worked up about this Trevor Jacob piloting thing. Do you know what I'm talking about, Ed?
No.
I don't. I didn't understand that.
So I don't really give a damn that Trevor crashed his own plane in the middle of nowhere. To me, it doesn't. I don't care. What did the dude hurt? A tumbleweed blowing around in the desert? Like, I could care less. You know, it really. I don't understand why everybody's so bent out of shape over this Trevor thing. It's not like he did it in the middle of a village or a city or a town and intentionally tried to crash it into a bridge. Like, dude wants to crash his own plane, go for it. I don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who cares? They'll just take his license away and then move on with life, dude. I don't understand why everybody's losing their mind over this Trevor thing. It's just silliness to me.
Was it on
Look,
purpose?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, you haven't been
But
following it?
at the end of the day, as long as you're not endangering anybody else, if you want to crash your shit, knock yourself out.
That's what I said. I'm like, dude went out in the middle of California, middle of nowhere, and crashed his own aircraft after jumping out of it with a parachute. Like, I could care less. Don't care.
I mean, I might just. Oh, that's the guy where they were trying to swap planes in flight.
No. He was flying. He's a YouTuber. He used to be part of like Travis Pastrana's team for X Games and all that kind of stuff. Professional snowboarder, and he started a YouTube channel. And he basically flies his plane around in the air and records his flights and does all that. Well, one day he decides that, I don't know if he decided, the FAA thinks he's lying. I don't, man. I don't see the payoff of crashing your own plane as being enough money to cover EPA fines and removing the plane. And, you know, dude only got like 1.5 million views. That's not very much money. That's like 10 grand. I'm sorry,
Well,
but
let's forget about all the fines and all that shit.
Right.
A plane is not cheap, even if it's
That's
an
what I'm
old
saying.
piece of shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, there's no way he would have made those views or even cared to. It wouldn't. I honestly think that I don't think it was a setup. I don't think he intentionally meant to crash. I think he probably did have a problem. He's a YouTuber. That's the reason he had cameras all over his craft, because he's a YouTuber, right? Like, I don't perceive it any differently. When I go out on my bike, I have multiple angles on my bike. You know, I don't know if I'm going to crash or not, but at least I have multiple angles. You know, it's like I don't. Everybody got so worked up over this, and it's like, who cares? What did he hurt a cactus in the middle of nowhere? What are we mad about here? I've done more damage to trees with my drone than he did to the ground that day with his aircraft. I could care less. I don't understand the whole. Everybody's just losing it over nothing. Like, because they're mad. They're mad because the FAA gave him a slap on the wrist. That's what this is about. Ed. The FAA was like, we're just going to take your license away. And I think everybody's jumping the gun here because I don't think the FAA is going to stop there. I think the FAA still has plans to fine him because the EPA is going to get involved, right? Whenever you crash, EPA.
Oh, God, yeah, probably.
Yeah. And so, like, the EPA hasn't even gotten started with this guy yet. Like, this is all just unfolding. So the fact that everybody's mad at the FAA for giving him a slap on the wrist to start off with is silly to me because they really have no idea what's coming for this guy. You know, so I'm getting a kick out of it, bro. I'm having too much fun with this whole Trevor Jacob thing. It's a riot, man, watching these people get mad.
Before I ever even knew about drones, I guess drones were around. But I flew in small planes.
Mm-hmm.
I had a mentor, and we used to go flying all the time. We used to go fly over to Punta Gorda from Lantana, have breakfast, and fly back. We used to do that all the freaking time.
Right.
And the rules that are out there. I mean, I remember flying, I don't know, someplace in the center of the state. It was on the way to Punta Gorda. And you hear them on the radio. Jumpers in the air, jumpers in the air. You know?
Right.
Some people jumping out of them. I was far more worried about buzzards flying around when we would fly across the state than I ever was about a drone. I was never scared about a drone.
I mean, I guess, Ed, in my head, I intentionally go out to crash my drone every time I fly. You know that. We're FPV. We are FPV pilots.
I hear you.
We're FPV pilot. We intentionally go out to crash every fucking time we fly. This isn't anything new. So when everybody's like, he intentionally crashed his aircraft, like, I do it every day. What are you talking about? You know,
well, I mean, when you think about it, if we go out there and we don't crash, then we get bored. It's like, well, hold my beer, let me try this.
Exactly. It's like I could go out and fly over the top of trees and never crash, or I could intentionally push myself and my boundaries of my skill set by trying to fly in between trees. I already know that I'm signing myself up for crashing. That's part of the game, you know? I don't understand. Everybody's like, this dude, you guys should really, when you get a chance, Bob, Ed, when you get a chance, go look up the Trevor Jacob story. Go watch, go to his channel. I don't know the background. Yeah, go to his channel and watch the original video. Like, dude, this happened out in the middle of the mountains. Like, nobody, dude. I'd be afraid he'd kill a sheep just chilling on a mountainside more than I'd be afraid of him killing a person. You know, it's like the whole thing just is stupid to me. And the FAA is doing what I think the FAA finds necessary at the moment, right? They gave him a slap on the wrist and revoked his license. He gave it up. And now he's made a shirt that says, always wear your parachute. So it's like he's trolling the FAA, which, you know me, I'm a troll. I find that funny. That is amusing as hell to me.
That is pretty funny.
I get a kick out of stuff like that. When somebody decides to fight the system, I get a kick out of it because that dude's a rebel, and I like rebels. Rebels stick out to me. I like people willing to fight the system. All right, so this dude already has a place in my heart. I'm happy. Like, he not only exploited a weakness in our system for actual manned aircraft, but he showed everybody he was capable of doing it, and there's no fucking repercussions yet. Right?
Yeah, okay.
It's like, if anybody should be saying thank you, they should be saying thank you to this guy for exploiting the weakness in the system. And now if you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at the FAA for not slapping him harder right out the hole. So I think everybody's anger is misplaced here, and they're really not stopping and thinking about this.
No, you know, there's always some Karens out there.
You know,
I will tell you this, and this is a story. This is from the guy that was my mentor for flying small planes, Larry Rare. And when I met Larry and he started taking me flying, his pilot's license had already been suspended once for flying under a bridge. doing what I know you have flown under a bridge, Dan. I know damn sure well you have.
I'll power loop the bridge, bro.
Oh, that's even better yet, but granted, a small plane has a lot more ability to do damage to the bridge than a drone does.
Agreed. But Trevor
Hi,
Jenkins,
Miss Susan Lee. Love you, girl. So I don't know. I just but this guy was a great freaking pilot. I mean,
right?
he went through thunderstorms and landed in high crosswinds and shit. Oh, I think the worst landing I ever had with him, hey, but we didn't crash, was at Melbourne Airport. Crosswind was like, I don't know, 22 knots, something like that, directly on the side, and he put it down on the ground. So,
Well, Ed, I stand with Trevor, and I break all YouTube community guidelines. So let's go, Trev. You and me, buddy, against the world. Got you, homie.
you know what's weird though, Dan, is flying the small bird, the small planes, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
The stick movement is kind of like you fly drones.
Sure.
It's amazing how similar it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. Well, because you're still dealing with
The throttle's a little different because on a small plane, there's a thing you got to pull in and push out.
Course. Of course. But you're still, when you set up your quads, you're still going by aileron and all that kind of stuff. I mean,
exactly.
So it's almost the same principle in essence. There are some slight differences.
The throttle that's different. That's all that's different.
Hey, let me say hi to some people because I got people saying hi to me. View Chaser, what's up? Jim's droning. Night Train, of course. Mike, how's it hanging? Kiwi up in this motherfucker. What's up, Matt Kiwi? Susan Lee, good to see you. Hi, Drones FPV. Rigor Mortis doesn't like me, but I like him. Hugs for you, big boy. But that pretty much sums it up for the moment. Hey, good to see you guys.
So you don't think Rigor Mortis likes you? He's never said an ill word against you to me.
I've been in chats where Rig had it out with me, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He
wasn't just debating you.
Listen, I have nothing against literally anybody on this platform. It's hard for me to hate people. I may be frustrated with individuals, but I don't really hate people, right? I'm always okay with the difference of opinion. I try to have a very open mind about things, and I'm always open to a difference of opinion. But when somebody can't get past the fact that they think they're right and they're not willing to hear anything else but their own side of it, that's when we kind of fall into that I have a problem category.
Yeah, okay.
Because now it's like, dude, if you're not willing to listen, why did you engage in the argument and the debate in the first place? Right?
No, I hear you there. I get that. I guess I've never.
You have to be willing to hear both sides of it. If you can't
engage Rigor at any point because he kind of seems like me.
He's hard, Ed. You're hard-headed too. We've had discussions, Ed. But I don't leave mad at you, Ed. We've had our discussions, but it's never gotten to the point where I'm like, "Fuck you, Ed," and fucking the horse you rode in on, you bastard. It's not. I don't do that. We can have political differences all day, but it doesn't change who you are as a person, Ed. You're still a good guy, right?
That's the true statement. Absolutely. But I would say the same of Rigor Mortis. I think he's a good guy. So.
I try to get along with everybody. I'm not saying it always works, but when somebody throws friendship out the window by getting too upset about something and not being able to let it go, that's when you activate the troll in me. That's when you get the other side of things.
It's like this magic chemistry that happens. It's like nitro and glycerin.
Sure. The moment you make it personal, that's when you get the other side of it. I'm cool up
Hey,
until this point.
Dom's RC. Hi, Allie again. Thanks for y'all being here. This is just, I was supposed to be telling a story about my creek life on Little Pottsburg, but
Oh, yeah, Ed, tell us about that 1850 picture that you put up there, man. The one where you're super buff, my guy.
well, that was from the New River Gorge when we did a whitewater rafting adventure.
Ah, did you
And that
did you fall out?
picture was just sent to me today by one of the people that I was on it with. So,
Ed, I've done whitewater rafting. Did you fall out? Because I fell out when we did ours. Bad. I ate it, dude. I ate a wave of fire.
I never fell out, but there were three of us. The guy that sent me the picture, me, and his wife.
You're ballsy. You went whitewater rafting with 3 people in a boat?
No, we were just among the 3 in the boat.
Okay. That's what I was going to say. Whitewater rafting normally consists of like 8 to 12 people in a
There
boat.
were more like 12 people in the boat.
Yeah, that's about right.
One being the guy that had the oar that could actually steer. I mean, we had paddles too.
Sure.
But we were just told what to do, you know.
Right. Yeah, they just scream orders.
We had no actual steerage of the vehicle. That was taken care of by the prick in back, who didn't know what the fuck he was doing. My language. I mean, he did an admirable job on most of the way down, but okay. So supposedly, and who the hell knows, this is a subjective term. Supposedly the rapids went up to 5.5 experience level, and 6 is the maximum.
So you were balls deep, dude.
So this is New River Gorge in West Virginia, and it's funny because the lesser rated rapids were actually more intense because they lasted for a longer period of time. Versus the higher rated rapids, it was like, oh yeah, it was tricky because there was a certain boulder you'd come up to and the currents could get weird, but it only lasted for a second.
Did you have fun?
I had a blast.
Well, then, dude, Ed, carpe diem.
Here's where the story comes in, though. After that class, supposedly 5.5 rapid came through, and we were already through the rapid, but the girl that was there, that I knew that was there for the trip, she flew out of the boat. And we're in a calm area. There really is no emergency. He has a freaking life jacket on. He's not going to drown. But the guy is like, oh, quick, get her back inside. Like, it was almost like we're getting ready to go off this precipitous waterfall or something. But it wasn't like that at all. There was all the time in the world. Anyway, the guy ripped these guys up, these people, into a frenzy. So they grabbed her arms and they snatched her out of the water, and she flew across the raft and slammed her head into the other side.
Yeah. Oh, good.
It was ugly, man. I mean, the rest of the trip was shit for her because she had jammed the crap out of her neck, man. She was miserable the rest of the trip.
Dude, those are the best. You think people learn from that, dude? Think like hold on tight, don't fall out of the boat. Because I certainly didn't learn, Ed. We hit a rock really hard, and I went sailing out the boat. And yeah, I got grabbed by some dude by my life jacket, yanked back into the boat too. So I get it, bro, but I was a little too big to toss around like a rag doll. So
I
but,
was going to say, man, I can't imagine one person grabbing you by a life jacket and snatching you out of the water.
I would have been in high school, so I probably weighed a good 260 pounds. I was a big dude. I just got done playing football, baseball, indoor soccer, wrestling. I did it all, bro. So at that time, I would have been built like a fucking brick shit house, man. But
Well, whoever snatched you out of the freaking water must have been built like a brick
Oh,
house.
no, sir. It was a struggle getting Dan back in the boat. All right, I just want you to know that. Okay, there's a lot of heave hoeing going on. Okay, so that's not. Yeah, there's nothing simple about getting my big ass back in the boat.
Yeah, you look a lot different than you did just 2 years ago.
Well, I'm 237 pounds. I weigh less now than I did in high school. So, but you're right about that. Dropping 150 pounds makes you look slightly different. It would be like Ed and a half just jumped off me and took off running.
Yeah.
Like more like Ed times 2.
Well, how much do you weigh, Ed? You got to be at least
I weigh at least 110.
right. You got to be at least a hundo.
Yeah, I want to think I am.
Well, you don't know how much you weigh, Ed?
No, I don't know how much I weigh. I'm estimating 115. I don't know.
Give me your
That's all
address.
right.
I'm gonna send you a scale.
I think I should weigh 125, but
I don't know, man.
you think that's a little thick for me?
I think you're probably more in the 108, 115 category. You don't look
Well, I think that's probably right where I'm at then. So thank you for your help advice.
Yeah, you don't look like a welterweight, and I still don't even know if you fall into the category of featherweight. So I don't know, man. I think
What
you're
is a featherweight?
I think you're blowing in the wind weight, sir. Where'd that go?
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind.
Oh shit.
So have you watched any? I mean, you're more of a Star Wars critic, but have you seen any of the Star Trek shit?
Well,
Paramount Plus.
That's a new movie coming out, right?
Are you talking about? Is it a new movie or is it the new Picard series?
No, the Picard series left me dry, man. I'm kind of pissed off at the way the season ended.
Yeah, that was weird, huh? All right, so
this is Star Trek Discovery.
Recently picked up that puppy there, signed by Jonathan Frakes.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Right. And then
that's #1.
Yeah, picked up a first edition signed Star Wars by the guy that wrote it. That's pretty pimp. That should be worth something. And yeah, still in the graded case, both of them. Pop, pop.
Look at what Mike said. Night train. He says egg was carried off by a swarm of skiers. You know, hey Mike, I talk about sailing and stuff like that. Dude, I'm telling you, that last drone meetup, I could have spread a sheet out and hung it like this, and I could have flown with that fucking sheet because that wind was blowing so hard.
Yeah. What's your dog's name? Susan wants to know what your dog's name is.
Spunky.
Oh, I was gonna say Cujo.
He's so cute.
Yeah, that's Mr. Sparky back there.
He has a YouTube channel. He has a YouTube channel. Spunky.
How can you not know Sparky, Miss Susan? He calmed down a lot, Bob.
Sparky.
Look at how
Spunky was a real cat.
What a cool dog Sparky is.
And
Get him,
don't let
Cujo.
those short legs fool you, man. This dog
He calmed down a
weighs quite
lot.
a bit. He weighs quite a bit.
That's a good boy. Hey, Sparky.
Yeah. Now he's gonna bug me.
I want you to meet my dog. His name is Hammy.
Yeah, you
Hey.
said it.
He's a little fat ass, but he chills. Say hi.
That's
What's up?
Ham. That's
Ham Solo.
Ham
Yeah.
Solo. Yeah.
Ham Solo.
Hey,
Yeah,
Ham.
little
You
fatty.
hammy bastard.
What are you doing, Chunk? What are you doing, Chunky? I call him Hamburger. Ham Solo. Hey, look at his little fat face, like, yeah. What are you doing? Saying hi to the people?
You know what's funny? Because I had a guinea pig for a while, and her name was Miss Piggy because she was a guinea pig. So I had an apartment. I was living in an apartment, and she had her little guinea pig crap box where she crap. She had her safe place, but I would leave the door open so she could come and go as she could please inside the apartment. She always went to her litter box, and when she felt uncomfortable, she'd go into her cage and just nestle on down. But when I would come home from work, I would come in and I would go, Miss Piggy, where's Miss Piggy? And she would squeal. She'd go, squee, squee. And she'd come out to see me, man. It was beautiful.
How'd she go?
She was a great pet, man. I loved her.
Yeah,
I
this is
can't
gonna.
remember how her demise went.
Well, Ed, I'll tell you what. They normally only live 5 or 6 years. She's 5 years old now, going on 6, and she still looks super duper healthy. So I have a feeling this one's going to be a long laster here. I expect we'll get a good 7 or 8 years out of this one here. Isn't that right? Yeah, healthy.
Well, I hope you do. Because Ham Solo, I mean, I remember when you first got Ham Solo.
Yeah, it was like
That's
5
been a
years
while
ago.
ago.
Yeah, it was almost 5 years ago now.
So,
About 5 years ago. Right, Ham? Yeah. Yeah, you were the YouTube mascot for a while. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Hey, you foo, how are ya? Who's the animal guy? Good to see you too, UFO. All right, so, I mean, I don't know, Dan, where did you grow up in? Where did you grow up?
I'm near Mike. I'm from Michigan originally, Elk Rapids, Traverse City.
Oh, that's right. You grew up there.
Yeah, Mike wasn't that far from where I was at.
So how you? Okay. So I mean, I've seen you out in some swampy areas. Imagine if you had grown up with that.
I probably would have been the next Steve Irwin.
Okay.
Yeah,
I remember videos of you with your rubber inflatable kayak and shit,
I'm the only dumb fuck in Florida that goes out in a inflatable kayak to fuck with alligators.
Well, yeah. Well, of course. What else are you gonna do?
I don't even care, bro. I was like, dude, look, man. I don't think it matters if it's a plastic kayak or a rubber one when the time comes. If they're gonna do it, bro, I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Look,
I wouldn't go out there with alligators, but those rubber rafts were fun.
No, they are. They're great.
Yeah, they were a blast.
Mm-hmm.
As somebody that has played with alligators for years, because of where I grew up in Jacksonville, on rivers that were always had an ample supply of alligators.
Oh, dude, I mess with alligators. I love them, bro. I'll poke their
Look,
tail.
man.
I'll try to get them. Yeah, I don't care.
I'd
Don't care.
rather deal with an alligator than a damn water moccasin any day.
Any day, bro. Yeah, water moccasins are unpredictable as all shit, dude. And when they strike, you don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, you guys keep that shit down there.
Dude, water
The only
moccasins.
alligator I've ever seen was in Woolworths, and it was like 6 inches long.
There's only one time I've been super freaked out by an alligator when I was in my inflatable, and I turned tail and I booked it that day because that sucker was probably 16, 17 foot long. And
Yeah, they can grow them big in places.
Well, here's my thing, man. It was beached up on. We were over at River Hills Park, and it was beached up on the land, and I got probably within 70 feet of it, and I'm like, oh, look at this, and then all of a sudden it just bailed into the water, and I was like, oh shit, I don't know.
Where's he going?
Yeah, I don't know if it's coming, going. That thing's huge. It's as big as my craft that I'm in right now, dude. I'm out. I turned tail. I was paddling my ass off, looking back, like I don't know if he's under me, behind me. I'm out, dude.
Don't look back.
Huh?
What'd that guy say? What was it? I think it was on Jaws. He came. Don't look back. Don't look back.
No. I was paddling. Hey, look, nothing keeping my neck from doing this though. I can still paddle like a mofo with a bent neck. You know, I'm just saying. I want to know when the teeth are coming, so I know when to jump out of the raft.
They're not that aggressive. Allie, like Allie French's article now. Comment. Now, bear in mind that Allie lives up in a place where there are no alligators around.
Yeah.
She has no personal experience with alligators. I'm wondering if Susan Lee has any experience with alligators. But it's all lovely to think that alligators are all gorgeous and intelligent until you start playing with them.
Because they have natural instincts you just can't shake, man. There's a guy I watch on Facebook who's always showing when they get wild alligators into captivity and how they act for the first couple months that they're there, and even the ones that have been there their whole life. You get in between an alligator and food, and you're done for, man. You're done.
No. I mean, first of all, what kind of stupid do you have to be to do that in the first place?
Right. Even raised in captivity, they still can't shake the natural instincts of wanting to bite your leg off.
I think the
Well, I
same
mean,
thing
you
about
can
the
say
snake
the
people.
same thing about a dog that you haven't fed for a couple of days, you know.
Yeah.
You know?
But dogs, even when you feed them, man, dogs are different. They're not. Dogs
have been with us a lot longer.
Dogs understand human emotion. They read you. They can read body language very well. Whereas an alligator's like, give me the chicken. Listen here, guy. If you don't give me the chicken, I'm just gonna rip your leg off and take the chicken anyways, and then I'm gonna eat you when it's over. So that's your choices here. Give me the chicken, or give me your leg. That's what's happening.
Okay, I'll buy that. I'm not going to dispute that.
It's like,
and I got a feeling that snakes are the same way.
I mean,
Snakes,
their
I don't think they're
their
that
sense of survival is a lot different than a dog.
well, yeah. That's my point. Is it all depends on where they come from. You could take a tiger in captivity its whole life, and it'll never understand the outside world of needing to hunt for food. If you take that need out of them, and they know they can expect food at certain times based on routine, then the animal's a lot less likely to fuck you up. But if you take an animal that's been hunting its whole life, and then you put it in captivity, no, dude, doesn't work that way, man. It only knows one thing. It's like,
food.
yeah, food. That's it. Don't get in between me and food.
All right, so Allie is arguing that alligators and crocs can read emotion too.
I'm not
No,
saying
Uh,
it. I'm not saying it.
I
My
But
dog's like my best friend. You
I
know?
don't know. They're cold-blooded creatures, but I mean, I guess they're a lot of emotion too. I don't know.
I watched Waterboy and I learned about the medulla oblongata. So I was taught by the best, baby.
Medulla oblongata, isn't it?
That is the sensor. This is where the reasoning comes from in an alligator's brain, the medulla oblongata. So I think it depends on captivity, not captivity, is how that's going to affect the thinking process of the medulla oblongata.
All right, so I want to say this. Okay, there are moral alligators and there are immoral alligators.
How'd you come to that?
Some are better able to extend their feelings than others.
Aw.
But you should not
Have you met a moral
discriminate against
alligator?
them because of that.
All right, so check this out. Natural instinct for an alligator that you'll never get out of them. If an alligator's mouth is open and anything, I don't care how long you've known the alligator, I don't care if it's the friendliest pet you've ever had, anything touches the tongue of an alligator while the mouth is open, its automatic reflex snaps the mouth shut. You
Yeah.
lose a hand. It is a guaranteed. It has been proven time and time again. And it's not even that they want to. Their body naturally reacts to the mouth being open and something touching the tongue or the mouth.
Well, the bottom line is if an alligator is sitting there with its mouth spread open, you don't stick your arm in there.
And
And
that's
you
why
don't encourage your dog to run up and say hello either.
I love watching YouTube videos where stupid people put their heads in alligators' mouths and then they get what's coming to them. And it snaps
Yeah,
shut.
no, I hear you there now, okay?
And then they start the death roll and twist the dude's head right off in front of the audience, and you're just sitting there like, you had that coming, buddy. I don't know what you thought was gonna happen.
No, dude, I hear you there. It's just, I mean, all you want to do is say, what were you thinking when you did that?
Exactly. All it takes is that one little bead of sweat to just go bloop, and hit that motherfucker.
Let's forget about the fact that the crushing strength of its jaws could mush your head. But even if it was a gentle love bite, one of its fangs could pierce your eye and what'd you call it? The Bada Gamada?
Have you ever seen the crush power of an alligator where they watch them devour a turtle shell where it just like the turtle's in it?
Yeah.
It just crushes the turtle shell.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, bro. Oh my God. What? Yeah, go.
They might as well turn the turtle into a tree chipper.
Right. It's like popping a zit to the alligator.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, dude. Oh, that's amazing. Well, Ed, I think I'm gonna give you your stream back. I gotta put Miss Shivers a lot here away, and I gotta go figure out something for dinner.
All right, brother. Well, hey, thanks for popping in.
You know, I'm always game. I saw that you posted it in the chat thing, so I came in. You know, well, I should say pricks. Pricks.
I think we had some interesting dialogue.
Yeah.
And,
Fun stuff.
So now I can go back to the regular show once you get the fuck out of here. I'm kidding, brother, man. Thanks for being here.
You're good, man. Bob, let Bob know. Bob, you there?
I think he's kind of hanging in there. I don't know. He,
All right,
he
well-
probably had to go down and get a cold beer. I need
That's
to
all
take
good.
a pee myself. So I'm about ready for a break myself and a fresh beer.
Well, there you go. Well, everybody in chat,
So,
good to
again,
see you.
Dan, I appreciate you coming in and hanging for a while.
Yeah, all good, man. It's been fun, man.
Let's see. I'm trying to do my fingers right.
What are we doing? Oh, I thought you were gonna give me one of these.
No, I ain't going to give you one of those. You correct.
All right, I'll give you one of
I
those.
can't help myself.
Huh? Give you one of
I'll
those.
do that.
Live long and prosper, Edzer.
I'm wavering. Hang on.
Oh, come on. Now you gotta close them and open them. Be the boss. Be the boss. Live
All right,
long
man,
and prosper.
later, I really got to go pee. So, to anybody that is hanging around after Dan leaves, I have to go pee. I need a fresh beer, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, Ed's got to make the dragon blow fire.
I don't know about fire. It's more like, I don't know.
You ever wonder this,
Later,
Ed,
brother.
Ed, you ever wonder this
What?
before you go? You ever wonder why when you drink beer, it goes in yellow and comes out clear, but when you drink clear, it comes out yellow? Store that away for a
That is, I've been wondering about that, Dan, and I am fully willing to hear your hypothesis on this.
Someday, my friend, someday.
All right, brother.
All right, man. Later.
It's some
Have a good
kind of
night, Dan.
damn conspiracy, I'm sure of it.
Later, Bob.
All right, Bob. You are now the official host. Well, I go get a fresh beer,
I just did
and
that.
take a pee. I figured you just got a fresh beer.
Because, I've never seen an alligator, so I didn't have much to add.
All right, so that's okay. So okay, I'm just telling you, you have the floor right now. Say hello to Susan Lee, Jim Stroning, Mike Night Train, but I really got to pee and I really need a new beer. So you have the floor.
Susan, I seen that house. I love old houses. We got lots of them up here. They just look so nice, especially out in the farmland like that.
Oh my goodness.
I always wanted to go to Maine. A good Chuck Norris joke. Wow. I don't know. I'm usually good with jokes. That's great, Susan. Oh, I didn't know it was an old funeral home, but I seen it was old. You can just tell by the way they made things back then. We have a lot of houses up here where they have the decorative wood on the outside, all like curved and this and that and spokes. Must have took those guys a lot of work back then to do that kind of shit. That's good, Dan. Yeah, usually I'm good with a joke. But it's an off night. Yeah, usually I'm great with jokes. There was a good one about a bank a little while ago, but now I can't remember it. What the heck was that? Oh, the lady was standing in line at the bank. When she got there, she asked the clerk to check her balance. So he pushed her over. I thought that was funny. Oh my God, I'm losing viewers on you. Oh no. Upstate New York. Susan, upstate. Not down by the city, upstate. The red part. I always wanted to go to Maine. I was going to go camping there once. Sounds like a great place. They warn you that roads turn into dead ends and stuff like that, and be careful. Because years ago, I sent away for a camping thing about it. And they were nice. They sent the New York, Maine State sent me a booklet and everything about it. I wanted to go to Baxter Lake or Moosehead Lake, either. Either one of them sounds good. Monticello, that's really north, I think.
Okay, Bob, I'm sorry I left you hanging out there, and like a trooper, you kept hanging in there.
I tried.
So I thank you for that, brother. I appreciate that.
Did you see Dan's joke? He was telling you about
No,
how
I did not. I just came back.
Chuck Norris killed 20 people with a grenade once. And that was before it went off.
Like the Chuck Norris one about he doesn't actually go swimming. He just allows water to be around him. Look, dude, I love Chuck Norris. I always have. Always have. You know, some of the stuff is a little too fantastical, but it doesn't mean it was the right thing and it couldn't be there. I don't know. I've seen so many great things from, whatever, Kung Fu masters, if you will, or whatever.
I love watching and reading about Bruce
Let me
Lee.
be really disgusting. Let me do this. I'll make Bob big. Oh, it's an empty chair. Okay.
I'm here.
I wanted to blow my nose, but I didn't want that image to be on the screen. Okay.
Yeah,
So here's the deal, man. So I was trying to explain about where I grew up, and then Dan comes in, and whatever. And that was all cool. But I basically was trying to get to my early life and talk about me growing up on the river, where there were alligators, there were gars. We didn't think about that too much. There were mullet runs that came up the creek. But I don't know, I was like 5, 6 years old, and we'd gone on some boat rides with the next door neighbor, he was a really old guy. I mean, he was old when I was still just a kid, okay? And I'm sure he's long dead now. I mean, he's more than dead. He's like, mummified. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He was old back then. Okay, so back then, trying to think of what year it was. I think it was probably about 1960. I want to say it was about 1960. So back then, you had to register your boat if you had more than a 10 horsepower motor on it. Okay. So, what did I call his name?
It wasn't 1960.
I can't remember his name now.
He's more like 65, wasn't it?
What was the old bastard's name next door? I can't remember. What did I say his name was, Bob?
I don't remember. I remember it was old bastard.
Oh, shit. Okay, it was Mary. Mary was the wife. Why do I keep wanting to say Albert? It wasn't Albert. What the hell was his name?
You know, I always do that shit, and I'm thinking all B's, like Berta, Betha, Beth, this, that. And then it's never that even fucking letter. It's always like way down the other side of the alphabet. And you finally remember.
All right, so let me get to the end of the story real quick. And then I'll try and think of his name along the way. All right, so back in those days, as long as the motor for your boat was under 10 horsepower, you didn't have to register it. Oh, Willard. Willard, that was his damn name. Thank God I finally thought of it. Okay.
Now, W wasn't even close, was it?
What?
A W wasn't even close, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Albert.
His name was Willard. So, anyway, Willard was kind of like me, but he was, I don't know, 40 years ahead of my time or whatever. But I mean, he was kind of small, but I mean, he did a lot for his size. But you know, as he got older, he got weak and shit like that, you know. So anyway, bottom line is, the boat that he had, the Sea King, was not going to go fast enough for his ass with a motor under 10 horsepower. So he kept his existing motor, but gave the boat to my family. Are you still there? You walked away. I saw you walked away.
Yeah, I had to do something.
So did you hear that part? So
yes.
So he just
went all his ass.
He just knew, hey man, I just need a lighter boat and I can use the same damn motor. So he gave the Sea King to our family. Well, I immediately took it over. So it was my boat now, mother. You know. And I rode that damn thing all over the place. Let me see if I can do this. Let's see. I'll do this. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is, let me change this. Delete, get that out of the way. Change. I'll just change it. I'm forgetting what I wanted to change it back to. That's what sucked. I can't remember what I was trying to. Oh, I know what it was. Okay. Let's see. Got.
Say your memory is
not in document. It's in pictures. And I think it's under Good Old Days. Okay, so this is from Good Old Days. I gotta find a picture I'm looking for now. Can't believe I don't have it here.
That's a great filing system you got.
I don't know that I have my folder set up quite right. Where was I going with this? Oh, I know what it was.
It was a
I know.
boat.
I know where I need to go. Okay, let me try this one.
I hear you, Mike.
I have a pretty cool pick in here if I can figure out how to pull it up. That's not working out very well.
You gotta pull it up, lad. Pull it up.
Let's see. Y'all like this one. This is not the picture I wanted to pull up. This is not the picture I wanted to pull up at all. Just so y'all know, this is not the picture I intended to pull up. However,
it looks like
I do not believe in censoring data so that really slack-jawed guy over on the left with a poochy belly and a slack-jawed look on his face almost looks a little retarded.
Who are you talking
Sorry.
about?
I mean, maybe that's politically incorrect. I don't know. In the middle is Miss Terry. Obviously a little bit older, but the guy on the right, that's Scotty. I always called him Scotty. That's what everybody called him. And he later reverted back to Scott. But, I mean, we went through a lot of shit together. I'm telling you. So, anyway.
Newfound Drone says he had his picture in the paper today, but he didn't rob a bank or nothing.
Let's see. Let me see if I can pull something else up. I'm still looking for the picture that I meant to bring, because this was all about my...
Yeah, we're still waiting for it, too.
The creek. Being on the creek. This was supposed to be all about being on the creek. So I wanted to tell a story about my first boat, which was a Sea King, a heavy-ass damn boat that the neighbor across the street gave to us because he wanted a lighter boat so his same motor can go faster. This is, okay, so this picture is now the picture you see. Can you see that picture? Yes, it's very blurry. I apologize for that. Can you see that picture?
Yes.
All right. So the tall person is my mother. The one that is to the left, but off her right shoulder, is Ed. That's Ed. I think we're going to church. I think we're going to church this day.
You look pretty
in the middle would be my deceased brother Mark, and then to the right would be my younger sister. Well, I only have one sister, but she is younger. She just got married the other day. She got married on my birthday, actually. But this is right back at the creek. And right next to the creek, if you look behind us, you see that is a big ass weeping willow tree. It was a beautiful weeping willow tree, by the way. So let me do this. There's another picture I really wanted to show, and I gotta find it. It's gotta be in media files, whatever. Family, we're already there. Okay, let's see. No way it's not here. All right, share that one. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is
I'm thinking Ed's at the Rose.
this
You're
is
wrong.
me. This is me. Let me do this. This is me as hang on. I'm doing something wrong here. StreamYard. Let me do this. This is me. I mean, look at me. I'm the dude with the oars, okay? That's, you're looking at my back. Because when you row a boat, I mean, your back's towards the bow. So that's my younger brother, Mark, in front. Now, granted, he's in front, but he looks bigger than me. And I'm sure he probably is. Behind his blonde ass head is my sister Linda. And then to the right is, in the green shirt, is my wonderful mother. And yes, I am biased. But to me, she will always be the best mother in the world. Most understanding. I don't know. Anyway, for the most part, she turned out a great bunch of kids. So, you know, Dad's had something to do with that. But when Dad went rogue, so to speak, or when he had his issues, the rest of us kind of pulled together, and it made us all the stronger. You know, so I remember it's funny because I remember Mom doing the Laura Petrie thing, like from the Dick Van Dyke Show. She used to wear the high, what did they call those back then? Capri pants, I guess they were called. Do you remember those, Susan? Susan Lee, the Capri pants. But my mom was the coolest ever. She really was. And so that's all I can say, really.
No, that's a cool
Coolest
picture.
ever. And I had my, were there shitty parts of my childhood? Yeah. But I don't think there's any kid that hasn't had some hard times in his childhood. And when I look back and I hear about some of these people boo-hooing about how miserable our life has been, you know,
I
gotta
myself
say,
pretty lucky.
I think I had a pretty good one. I
Me too.
I do not feel disadvantaged because of my childhood in any way. I had a great time, I had a lot of freedom. I got to do a lot of shit. Um, and I'm sure you did too, Bob. I mean, and Susan Lee, I knew Miss Susan is in Maine. When I was 17 years old, longer ago than I care to admit, I went with my brother and his wife at the time in a VW microbus. I don't know if it was a microbus. It was a VW bus. We went up. We went through North Carolina, visited a friend of his, and then we stopped to see some family in Maine. And then from there, we Portland. They had a furniture factory outside of Portland, but where their main store was in Portland. But we were going to Canada, Quebec. So we went and saw their furniture factory, and we went to Portland, Maine, that is, not Portland, Oregon. But it's a port in Maine, and that's why they call it Portland. Anyway, went there. It was pretty cool. Got old ships and stuff like that. And then we set off, and I want to say the name of the highway was 210. But there's a 210 down here. I could have that completely wrong. But anyway, it went diagonally from Portland along the Kennebec River all the way to Quebec. I have the hiccups. This is really bad.
I hear it.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
So, I mean, anyway.
Goodbye, Jim.
I had been the navigator the whole trip. And when we came across the bridge into Quebec, all the roads' names were in French, and I didn't have a French-speaking map. And we got instantly lost. So anyway, I just had to polish off that story. There's only 6 people here. But it was a beautiful trip. Susan, I got some cool pictures. Well, it was the first time I'd ever seen lumber as in like floating lumber down the river. What do they call those people that get out there on the logs? And lumberjacks. That was the first place I ever seen that done, was along the Kennebec River, and seeing the rafts of logs and people out on them, steering them around and all that stuff. That was pretty amazing to me. That was pretty amazing. So, I didn't really tell much of my story tonight, but just know that I'm a river rat. I'm a sail rat. I'm a drone rat. I like all of those things to where, well, not so much with the drones, but with the rivers and the sailing especially, you harness the power of nature's energy that's out there. So that's all. What are they making out of, Susan? I kind of missed that. So, okay. So, I've been on for too long. I appreciate everybody that's been here. Feel free to hit me up. Whatever in whatever form you feel necessary. I want to get, look, I like to think that throughout my years I've done some cool shit. I want to share that. Not that anybody really cares, but maybe somebody will. So, later, everybody. Talk to you later, Bob. Thanks for
Right.
being here, brother.
Good one, Ed.
Appreciate you. And hopefully we can do this again soon, huh? I like having you here. Well, thanks, Susan. I appreciate that. I have so many I got interrupted, but I like getting interrupted. I'd like to actually, you know what? I would like, we'll have to work on that. But if you, like you, Susan, or, you know, Dan drove that Drone Maggot, or Bob Drone Days, if you have a particularly good story from days gone by that you want to tell about, then this would be a great place to do that. I mean, old stories are the best, dude.
Oh,
They
I
really
feel
are.
sorry for kids growing up nowadays. I remember one summer we had these like acorn fights. It lasted like 2 weeks. It just kept intensifying, and it's like the neighborhood kind of just split into two groups, just all in fun. But they did hurt when you got hit by them.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, people have gotten so.
I couldn't imagine being inside for all the time.
Man, I remember us shooting BB guns at each other, throwing potatoes at each other. You know, not real potatoes because our parents would have killed us, but we had these vines that were down here, and we called them potato vines because these freaking potatoes that weren't potatoes, but they looked like a damn potato, and they hung from this vine in the sky, and they would eventually drop off. But you know, traditional potatoes, you have to dig them things out of the ground. No,
Yeah, they're not easy to
these
dig up.
things hung from a vine.
I remember doing that as a kid.
Yeah, so these things were about the same consistency as a potato that you would dig out of the ground, but it was hanging on a vine instead. And at some point, it was going to fall off that vine because it started to rot, or the vine decided to get rid of it and drop it on the ground so it can make more potatoes. Well, the problem is when that potato laid on the ground, it started to rot. Okay? So in our potato wars, you know, these damn potatoes were laying around all over the place. But if they've been laying there for a while, they started Do you know what? Shit. What's it called? I'm trying to think. It's like oh, crap. So it's like made out of pumpkins or something. They make like a butter out of it supposedly, but it's got this orange tint to it. I think it's made out of pumpkins, but it's got some other shit in there too. Anyway, it's basically orange, and these potatoes, when they sit on the ground, they start to rot, and they have basically the same color. It's got that orange tint to it. So, us being kids, what kids do, what do? You throw these things at each other. All right. So these things are like mushy. You can throw them. You won't mess yourself up by throwing them. They're not quite that sloppy. But if they impact somebody, it's spraying all over everything in that direction. It's like a cluster bomb kind of thing. So, anyway, it smelled like crap too. I mean, it literally smelled like crap. So. Actually, I think it smelled worse than crap, to be honest with you. I remember catching fireflies, Susan, and I am not saying this as if I am proud of these actions. But you must understand, Miss Susan, that where I grew up in Florida, fireworks were strictly prohibited. So when I went to Alabama, where you could legally buy fireworks at the time, which we did, it's like your whole mind scheme is, well, what can we blow up next? I mean, I'm sure you've been there, Bob, haven't you? You've been there. What can I blow up next? So, what do? We used to take firecrackers, just your average black cat or whatever. It's like. Oh wait, I need to change my picture here.
I remember those black cats.
Yeah, but you hold your fingers like this. That's about what it is. Maybe a little bit more. So we would wrap those around lightning bugs and then throw them up into the air. And then when the firecracker went off, you see this green spray come down.
Really?
Absolutely. Now, see, me being me, that didn't happen too many times. It's like, man, I love lightning bugs. Why am I blowing them up? So, But, I mean, it was cool the first time. That poor bastard.
I've done shit like that before. Like catching frogs and throwing them in a fire to hear them pop.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the frog thing. Okay, let's go back again. All right, so I was trying to go back into the creek stuff. But this is another cool story, I think. All right, so again, I grew up on the river, a creek, with my younger brother and my younger sister. And for much of my life, that creek out back was most of my life. So now I'm forgetting what the whole point of this story was.
Frogs.
Damn it. Oh, the frogs. Okay. So the only respite from a normal time at the house where we had the creek here in Jacksonville, Florida, was when we would go to the mountains to see my grandmother and my grandfather. Actually, nobody went to see my grandfather. Everybody loved Graham. Grandpappy, he was cool, don't get me wrong, but he was a little cantankerous, and, you know, if you're going to hang around with Grandpappy or Grandmammy, you were going to hang around with Grandmammy because she would give you what you wanted, more than likely maybe cook for you, or just tell you to go out up in the woods and have a good time. Grandpappy wanted you to do chores around the house. So naturally, you kind of stayed away from Grandpappy. Oh, and by the way, Miss Susan Lee, if you are still here, both Grandpappy and Grandmammy were from Maine, and they were Dickinsons. Actually, Grandpappy was a Marrow. Grandmammy, I always call her Gram, was a Dickinson. So if you know of any of those families up there in Maine, hey, get some genealogy going on. I don't know. Dottie Dickinson, whatever. Anyway, half my family, at least most of my family on the maternal side, is from Maine.
So you're related to Angie Dickerson?
I'm a half Yankee, for quad's sake. So I have a lot of pictures. I have some pictures up there from up there, Susan Lee. But man, I had a great time. I had when I was up there. It's been years ago, but dude, at the time I was a young guy, and a lot of these people were already old. But they welcomed us in, Oh, cool. You're our Florida cousins, and that's the way they looked at it. Because we were literally their Florida cousins, So I think my grandma was still alive, but she wasn't in that great a shape. But it was really cool. I mean, I love that trip to Canada. That was pretty cool. Very cool. It was very cool. It was very cool going up through Maine, going up along the Kennebec River, seeing where they floated logs down, lumberjack styles, down the river, crossing over into Quebec. A rather impressive fort, too. I don't know when the Quebec fort was built, but that's the first place I saw somebody openly smoking weed in a public place. And that was years ago. But see, back then, Canada was way more liberal than America used to ever think about. And then when all this pandemic stuff came out, wow, that Justin Trudeau asshole, he clamped down on everything, make it completely totalitarian. like Hitler out there. Shut down the freedom truckers, all that. Okay, I don't mean to get political. I'm not trying to do that. I mean, I'm just saying. Anybody that follows this story at all cannot disagree. I mean, do you remember? I remember, I mean, I'm an old guy. So I remember the 70s, the 80s, and what I saw on the news. And back then it was like against the war. I guess Vietnam was going on and that kind of stuff. And people were all against that. They were all for free speech and all that. And how the world has changed now.
Free speech.
Kind of crazy.
Free speech. Oh no.
It's just crazy, man. It's like, wait a minute. Well, I mean, it's like you guys need a history lesson. You don't need to look back at shit that happened 10, 20 years ago. So I don't know. I was just trying to talk about some old shit that happened a long time ago when the world. Okay, so let me say this: the world. I know for me, when I was between. I don't remember when the world started getting serious to me, but I'm pretty sure that it was from 0 years of age to like maybe 22 years of age. I don't know. During all of that time, and it could have been later, it could have been 25 years of age. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure when the transformation happened.
I started to pay attention
to Rush Limbaugh and stuff like that, and I'm like, holy shit.
When Reagan came in, I started to pay attention.
Who?
When Reagan came in?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Reagan was, I mean, I love Reagan. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to think of when I actually had my awakening, but I think it was before or after Reagan. Although let's see, when was? Oh, let me look at this. I have this right here. All right. So my sister. Put this up on the big screen. So my sister was doing this, was cleaning out a storage place. And this is a piece of wood that is from Ronald Reagan's, let's see what the year is, his inauguration deal in 19, is that 81? I think it's 81. So this is a piece of wood from the inaugural stage, and of course it's got a Ronald Reagan coin on it. So he is our hero for the conservatives. There's no doubt about it. He's what started it all off. So anyway, I wanted to share that. All my life has been about the water, the wind, and flying. And I mean, yours has been a lot about that too, Bob, including nature and doing the woods and think about prepping. And
mine was more like camping rather than water. Because what we got here are mountains.
We
got here are mountains and lakes.
I've done my share of camping. It's just the water, you mix up the wind and all that kind of stuff. And
Well, we got the lakes, but it's probably not the same.
so, anyway, I have food. I need to eat. And I've been on for almost 2 hours, and there's only 5 people here, Bob. So I appreciate you being here, and I understand why others
Say
might
hello to
find this
Rat.
boring. I just, for whatever reason, I had the urge to go live. I meant to tell a story. I didn't tell near as much of the story as I would have liked to, but it doesn't matter. Tomorrow is another day. And I didn't know who else was on. At the time I decided to start this, I didn't care. I don't care. If somebody else is live and I stepped on their toes, they don't need to feel like their toes were stepped on. They can always watch this later if they care to. If not, they just write it off. So I don't really get the big offense about when you go live versus, oh, well, how could you go live when so and so does? Well, maybe what I feel like talking about is more interesting than what they have to talk about. You know what I mean? It's not all about just flying drones.
It's free
It's
speech.
about how your
Free
life
speech.
is going. Oh, did you really have a shitty day? Or I had a great day. I mean, it's even better if you had a great day. But we're just sharing a piece of our lives. So to anybody that's here, I thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, Bob.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill the end broadcast button. That doesn't
Hit
mean
the
you won't
button,
still
man.
be here.